Things of great value. In the 17th century, French philosopher Blaise Pascal wrote, "Men never do evil so completely and cheerfully as when they do it from religious conviction." We witnessed that evil on September 11th. There's little I can add to what has already been said. Experts have emerged from every segment of society. We have been bombarded from all sides, politically, militarily, socially, religiously, and psychologically. Two things are evident to me. First, evil does exist in this world and needs to be eradicated if mankind is to progress. Two, life as we have known it has been changed for a long time to come. Jody and I recently returned from Seattle. We were randomly picked to have our baggage x-rayed, searched, and we were electronically patted down. Should you fly, you will be asked to show picture identification at numerous checkpoints. Any large gathering will have added security and will take a little longer. For the first time in our lives, many of us will question the trip planned, the water we are about to drink, and the mail we are about to open. Yes, there will be changes. Our collective public life will never be as it was. Most of these changes will be imposed upon us. This morning, I thought we might spend our time together talking about the changes in our personal lives, something we can control. Change is neither good nor bad, or positive and negative. The way in which we accept and deal with it determines the gender and the outcome. How should we, as followers of Christ, digest, absorb, and assimilate those tragic events of September 11th and our concerns afterwards, and through reflection become better human beings? A philosophy teacher held up a wide-mouthed gallon mason jar and poured rocks into it to the top. "Is it full?" he asked. The class answered in the affirmative. He then took a cup of pea gravel and emptied it into the jar. "Full?" he asked. "Yes," replied the smiling students. He then took a pail of sand and poured into the jar. The sand, of course, filled every nook and cranny, from top to bottom to the rim. "Now," he said, "the jar is full." "Suppose," he asked, "that I had reversed the order of ingredients, sand first." We all know the answer. The sand would have taken every cube of space, leaving none for the gravel or the rock. As a philosophical lesson, the ingredients represent those things we attach importance to in our lives. The rocks most important, the pea gravel those things of somewhat lesser importance, and the sand the least important experiences, relationships, etc., both materially and intrinsically, that take up our time and our lives. I can either fill the jar of life with grains of sand and a few pebbles, or I can fill it with stones, topping my jar off with pebbles and sand. The choosing will determine not only the quality of my life, but will have a profound effect on those lives I come in contact with. My choice, your choice. It is called priorities. I think we need to examine, analyze, and question what really matters or should matter to us as individuals. A starting point is my priorities of today, here and now. I find some of mine wanting, in need of guidance. Some just don't get me where I should be, where I want to be. On a bluff above the Hudson River sits one of our nation's great institutions, the United States Military Academy, West Point. Nestled among the beautiful manicured grounds is an area set aside for those that will forever be a part of the long gray line. 6,827 people are interred there, intertwined even in death with the Corps of Cadets. Some are famous, some infamous, some colonel and general, but mostly captains and lieutenants. In the section from the 60s and early 70s, the Vietnam graves, is the grave of John Hotel III, a Rhodes Scholar, twice a recipient of the Silver Star. John wrote his own obituary, sending it sealed in an envelope to his wife, to be opened only at his death. That death came only a few months later. I deny that I died for anything, John wrote. Not my country, not my army, not my fellow man. I live for these things, and the manner in which I chose to do it involved the very real chance that I would die. My love for West Point and the Army, for my family, was great enough for me to accept this possibility as part of a price which must be paid for things of great value. For things of great value. That's something I can hang my priority hat on. What are my things of great value? What are the things of great value that sustain, nourish, and comfort us? They are the things that have lifted up mankind for ages and will continue to give hope and meaning for ages to come. 1. First and foremost is my faith in God, a loving, caring, and compassionate God. A God that cares for each of us, takes great joy in our goodness and great sorrow in our failures. In our inability to live as He would have us live, as His Son taught us to live. A God that wept on September 11th as He witnessed the evil that man is capable of. A God of unlimited love for you and me, so boundless that He gave His Son's life so that we might live. His death made you and me things of great value. 2. The second thing of great value is the love of family. Why is it that we take this for granted, so often giving this our last consideration? The relationship we have with our mothers, fathers, our siblings, our spouses, our children, their children, and those friends close to us. The fond memories, the moments of joy and happiness, the fulfilled feeling of contentment, determine to a large extent the quality of our lives here on earth. The moral fiber of our nation is in direct proportion to the strength of our family bonds. It is time that we recognize this truth. 3. The third thing of great value to me is love of country. Love, not because I am a citizen of the United States, that is nationalism, and far too often it has been used to the detriment of mankind. Rather, it is love for a nation founded on godly principles, recognizing the sanctity of the individual. Our founding fathers said this: "We hold these truths to be self-evident. that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Some would say hollow words, with the blithe of slavery so prominent within a young country. But less than 100 years later, those words, those ideals, were immersed in the fire of civil war, tempered, hardened, and honed to a fine edge, purified by blood, emerging as the standard for freedom in the world today. Lincoln set the tone in his second inaugural speech, saying, "With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right, as God gives us to see the right, to do all which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace among ourselves and with all nations." Harry Truman said, "We must build a new world, a far better world, one in which the eternal dignity of man is respected." Throughout our history, these words, these ideals, these noble concepts have guided our actions. Have no doubt, our cause is just. 4. The fourth thing of great value is the God-given ability to think and the freedom to choose. Choose to be positive. When looking at the twisted metal, the pulverized cement and stone, the vaporized bodies that represent the World Trade Towers and its occupants, I choose to see 1. Firemen and policemen and paramedics going up the stairs to save lives while giving their own. 2. To remember calm phone calls made to remind family members of how much they were loved. 3. To remember individuals subduing hijackers, meeting certain death while giving untold others life. 4. To remember a man staying with his paraplegic friend as he would not meet death alone. 5. To remember rescue workers erecting a makeshift flagpole and raising the American flag, unconsciously imitating another flag raising on a bloody piece of earth, making it sacred and holy. 6. I choose to remember that we are made in the image of God, and therefore goodness lays in the heart of all humankind, except for a few evil, diabolical minority. We can make this a defining moment in our lives, as individuals, as a nation, as a world. What are your priorities? What are your things of great value? We can make this a defining moment in our lives as individuals, as a nation, as a world. Someone wrote, "Life is God's gift to us. What we do with that life is our gift to God." What gift will we lay at God's feet? A gift of doubt and fear, wrapped in the crumpled, faded paper of paranoia and distrust? Or one of love and faith, wrapped in the crisp, golden paper of hope and assurance? Faith in and love for God. faith in, and love for family. Faith in and love for our nation. Faith in our ability to choose and act positively. What will be your priorities? What will be your things of great value? I want to thank you for listening, and I hope this message gives you pause for reflection.